What's going on, Bruce? Ladies and gentlemen, this PokéBeach article has caused a lot of commotion over the last 3 days. However, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. This right here is the 36 biggest Pokemon TCG distributors in the United States of America. And guess what I did over the last 3 hours? I called all these phone numbers and I talked to a whole lot of different people and I asked a whole lot of different questions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I talked to about 10 different people at 10 different distribution centers here in the United States of America, and I found out things I wasn't even planning on finding out. I found out about a golden ticket, some kind of Willy Wonka thing coming up in the new the megas that are coming out in the fall. I found out that the Pokemon Company just bought a whole bunch of printing presses specifically for Europe that are being installed in Europe right now, so that all of Europe's English allocation will be printed in Europe now instead of America, so that'll free up way more printing for American distribution. But long story short, the whole black bolt and white flare being short printed is what I was trying to figure out. Confirm or not confirm? Is this bullshit, or is the Pokemon Company actually doing potentially the dumbest thing imaginable, which is instead of fixing a current problem, you're just creating an entirely new, even bigger problem? We all know the highest, most FOMO'd, most anticipated set in Pokemon is always the upcoming set. So if you are Pokemon and you're trying to make things better, potentially the worst thing you can do is short print the upcoming set. Are you kidding me? So in today's video, we're going to talk about this PokéBeach article. We're going to talk about the guy behind the PokéBeach article, Jon, John. And we're going to talk about how some people, find themselves in a position where they are exceptionally influential and can make basically trendsetters. There are people who go out of their way to be a trendsetter, and there are people who accidentally, by virtue of having a great career, become a trendsetter. John, Water Pokemon Master, aka PokéBeach, has accidentally become a trendsetter. So I really hope he watches this video, because I think someone in his position to just post an article, he's smart. You gotta know that is gonna make massive waves. The amount of YouTube videos that are gonna spawn off of this article, and all you did was talk to one guy. One dude at one distribution company told you something exceptionally impactful, and you didn't even think to follow it up with a little research, aka let's see if maybe a second distribution. All I'm saying is, all you had to do was do what I did. You don't have to call every single number and spend 3 hours. Just call 2 or 3 others and just confirm it. If somebody tells me the world is ending in 5 days, I don't care if it's Neil deGrasse Tyson, I don't care if it's Elon Musk, I'm probably going to vet that source and get a confirmation from 1 or 2 other individuals before I post it online that the world is ending in 5 days. I want at least 2 to 3 people to confirm before I put my reputation on the line and I start telling everyone else that the world is ending in 5 days. That's all I'm saying. So I'm actually going to, he posted a video podcast on his YouTube channel, which, by the way, so you have a website that literally infects millions of people, tens of thousands, maybe even 100,000 people a day click on that website. But then you go to his YouTube channel and he's smaller than me. What the hell? So I went to his YouTube channel and I wanted to hear this straight from the horse's mouth just to see if we can get anything extra, any additional information. So let's go ahead and see what he had to say about this. So first of all, here's the article in question. Black Bolt and White Flare to experience severe shortages, but TCPI now catching up. First, let's look at this article before we go to the actual podcast. This is what everyone's talking about. Unfortunately, we received word that Black Bolt and White Flare allocations will be much less than prismatic evolutions. Most stores will receive no product. This is according to one of TCPI's biggest US distributors. One. Okay, well, I just talked to 10 of them. I don't know if 10 is like way more than one, and so 10, you should take 10 different people's words over one guy, or maybe because this is, you know, this is Water Pokemon Master, we should just take this one random dude in his 40s word, and we should assume that the highly anticipated upcoming specialty set Black Bolt and White Flare is absolutely getting short printed because one random dude with no financial interest whatsoever said it was. Don't even bother calling up a second or third to confirm this. It's not worth it. Okay, but there's, and then that's it. This is according to one of TCP blah blah biggest. That's it. No saying who said it. No saying what in their numbers led them to believe that this is short printed. There was a guy at one of the distributors. Throughout the rest of this video, I will tell you a bunch of stuff I heard from the distributors. I'll tell you a lot of stuff that I heard because I just got off the phone with a bunch of different distributors in the last 2 hours. I'm not making that shit up. I just called up. I literally called them up. Every one of those numbers. I said, "Hi, my name is Dan. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Mimic Brew. I'm currently working on a video related to Black Bolt and White Flare being short printed or not, and I'm trying to do some blah blah blah." That is how I started every single phone call. So every one of these people had the decision, had the choice, do I talk to this YouTuber or not? And they told me what they told me. And there's a reason I'm making this video, okay? Let's put it that way. So he basically just says, one guy told me Black Bolt and White Flare is being short printed. And then he immediately, John, Water Pokemon Master, just immediately goes in his own head to come up with reasons or excuses why this is true. Not, wait, is this true? Are you sure? What are you getting significantly less Black Bolt ETBs? Are you getting less White Flare ETBs? Like, what is it, all products across the board? None of that. Just, okay, I guess it's getting short printed. Oh, it must be because they're reprinting Surging Sparks and because they're reprinting Prismatic Evolutions. Explain to me how the hell it makes any sense whatsoever that you're trying to fix a problem, so you fix the problem by creating an entirely new, worse problem. Black Bolt and White Flare is the last set of the Scarlet and Violet era. If there was ever a set you don't short print, it's Black Bolt and White Flare. Are you kidding me? Okay, and then blah 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 blah. This is all just because, as usual, new supply will trickle down, Surging Sparks, Prismatic. Basically, he's saying one guy told me it's getting short printed, and it totally makes sense because they're catching up on all this other stuff. So that is the article 3 days ago that everyone, now all these PokeTubers are making their, you know how PokeTube works, right? All these fucking PokeTubers that can't come up with original ideas, they go on PokéBeach, and it becomes an echo chamber. They then make that, oh, PokéBeach said this, and then you see 10 videos all about the newest PokéBeach article. That is why I'm making this video. This guy is way too freaking influential to just be saying shit without checking his sources. I'm sorry. So here we go, PokéBeach, like I said. This is PokéBeach's YouTube channel. Like I said, he's got a website that gets millions of views, millions of clicks, and then here's his, you know, even I'm bigger than PokéBeach on YouTube apparently. But here we go. So Black Bolt and White Flare will see major shortages. So let's meet John and Justin of Justin Basil. Let's see the faces behind these pages.
This news story, because I don't think I say this enough, but hi everybody, welcome to the
sun is.
What?
I'm sorry, man. I was just about to comment about how bright the sun was. It's like blowing me out no matter what I do. But we're good. Let's just.
I'm only gonna play like 30 seconds here, maybe 2 minutes here coming up in a minute, and that's it. So we're only gonna look at like 3 total minutes of this, and all the rest of it is just random stuff, other topics. I'm not reacting to this. I'm just playing a couple clips really quick, and so you can see the man behind PokéBeach himself, John, and then you yourself can decide, oh wait, maybe John is a regular human being. Maybe John can screw up from time to time. Maybe he just had a bad day. Maybe he should put a little more effort into this one. Maybe he should have thought twice before posting this article, knowing the ramifications, the FOMO, the hype, the hysteria that could be caused from saying, just making such a ridiculous proclamation such as Black Bolt and White Flare is getting reprinted or short printed. Of course, it's going to get reprinted. It's going to get reprinted out the ass for the next year and a half straight. But to say it's getting short printed, come on.
You're fine. You're fine. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the PokéBeach.com podcast. My name is John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website. And I am joined, as always, by my wonderful friend,
Justin Basil of justinbasil.com.
who is going through a heat wave right now in Texas.
Yes, it is quite warm here at the moment. And it's quite warm even inside. The AC is not keeping up as much as it's trying.
I just got my AC recharged with R22.
Okay, they say hi, formalities. I'm going to skip up to the 125 mark when they actually talk about what we're talking about. So here we go.
Let's start with this news story. So Black Bolt and White Flare will experience severe shortages, but TPCI is now catching up. So, unfortunately, I received word that Black Bolt and White Flare allocations will be much less than Prismatic Evolutions. This is according to a U.S. distributor, one of the largest. They stated that most stores will receive no product. So this is...
1/2 hour ago, one of the distributors told me, oh, look, I just got my, not Black Bolt, but White Flare ETB numbers in last night. Hey, I'll tell you right now if they're getting short printed or not. Literally looks it up while I'm on the phone, and he's like, no, everything looks good. Everything looks absolutely good. Yeah, I'm just being honest. These numbers look kind of right. We're in line with what we were expecting. While I'm paused, I'm going to say this too. Another distributor at a very popular, like if you know distributors, you know which one I'm talking about. While I'm on the phone with them, he goes on to PokéBeach, reads the article I'm talking about, and then goes onto YouTube and starts watching this podcast that we are watching right now. So I'm literally on the phone like an hour ago with a distributor, a major player at a major distributor who got on the website and then started watching this podcast. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. Like, from my end, and yeah, no. It is not short printed. And he even knows who PokéBeach is. He's like, yeah, the guy's usually on his shit. And that's what I said. I'm like, yeah, I know, he's usually pretty good. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Anyway.
Great news for the first split sets we're getting in America with 800 cards if you're trying to complete a master set. Good. You're not going to really be able to get it for the first wave. They're not going to have much of the product, unfortunately.
There's still cards that are playable in there, which is unfortunate because they will affect the metagame, and we'll see some of the reveals that we've seen from this last week here shortly. But even if we don't like the Pokemon, we still have to acknowledge the fact that this is going to have an impact on the actual playing.
From this point forward, they just talk about players, whether they'll have access to the cards or not. He literally at no point for the entire rest of this video articulates at all who that one person is, why that one person said what he said, what products that person is getting a reduced allocation of. Nothing. They just kind of move on and talk about general topics from this point forward. And I just want to go to one specific spot just to help hammer the point home that these are regular dudes in their 30s. Like PokéBeach, the website, Justin Basil, they get thousands upon thousands of foot traffic. They are very influential. They're literally just two nerds in their 30s. Okay, guys? Here's just look at this right here. These are normal guys.
Use the word. They stagger the releases to the stores. But anyway, over the next few months, you should start to see these products if you haven't already started to see them. This is all because TCG Pocket came out in the fall. There was a large surge of price. Cards and products.
The graph shows the opposite of what you just said, but okay.
What are you talking about?
We've had this argument before on here, but Pocket's very clearly after the spike has started. Just saying.
No, it's not. It's as the spike has started, and this is also Pocket came out here, but it started the beta earlier than that. So you're not correct on that, and I don't know why you keep saying that.
Still surging sparks, man. It's still surging sparks.
It's literally not. The graphs and all other data shows otherwise, but whatever. So anyway, Black Bolt and White Flare are...
Okay, so There you go. Two highly respected, highly influential nerds arguing over what the actual catalyst was of the most recent bubble. Okay. These are two very normal human beings that have done a very great job, who have become very influential, but they can make mistakes. They can have a bad day. They can post an article without fully vetting it. I'm just throwing that out there into the ether, that it is possible for even John, a water Pokemon master of PokéBeach, to accidentally maybe, say a little too much without fully vetting, making sure he's 100% certain, making sure that the information being parlayed to him is actual, legit, solid information. I just want to show you this list one more time, because this is on the Pokemon Center's website. These are real phone numbers. Believe it or not, you can call these people too. And yes, I had a little more luck than probably the average person, because I started off right off the bat with, I'm a YouTuber and I'm investigating some potential bullshit related to a proclamation made about distribution and a set being short printed. So a lot of these people did open up and did probably tell me a little more than they might tell the average person that is calling these phone numbers. And some of these phone numbers were a complete waste of time. Some of them, I had to leave a message. One person, I had to call, talk to someone, and then I got an email from the manager that I just read 20 minutes before I started, editing and recording this video. And again, I found out some weird stuff too, like the golden ticket thing, the European presses that were just purchased, blah, blah, blah. But the more and more I went down this list, the more and more people I called, the more and more people I talked to, there was not a singular ounce, shred, word of evidence, period, to support the black and white sets being short printed in any specific way whatsoever. Every single person that actually had, of the 10 different people I actually got a hold of and talked to, some of them I talked to for 5 minutes, some of them I talked to for 10 minutes. One guy I talked to for like 20 minutes, the guy who ended up going on PokéBeach and then watching the video while he was on the phone with me. They were very, very clear that as far as they know, and based on numbers they have already been given, this specialty set, Black Bolt and White Flare, is absolutely not being short printed, period. Now, is this video like some kind of hit piece on John, Pokemon Water Master, PokéBeach? Absolutely not. Not at all. However, this is a video that I absolutely hope to God he sees. Because, dude, John, I'm gonna look at the camera, I'm gonna talk right to you, John. Bro, you have become, like, your words are gospel. You have got to pick and choose when you are gonna just post something, and when you are gonna post something with doing way more research, way more diligence. In this topic, the upcoming highly anticipated specialty set being short printed, this is the most obvious. Pause. Let me make sure that this is legit news before I post this scenario I think I have ever seen. I have no idea why you think one dude telling you one thing should just... Maybe you don't realize how impactful you are. Maybe you don't realize how many people make YouTube videos based off your website and your content and your articles. I got news for you, John. People like you and Justin literally rule everything. The people who set trends, the people who create narratives are the ones that are creating literally everything we talk about on a daily basis, okay? And Black Bolt and White Flare, it took one random dude in Arizona named Dan with a list of phone numbers to easily convince himself, myself, that is complete bullshit. Now, am I suggesting that you no longer take whatever this guy, whoever this one guy is, John, you know who he is, okay? Am I saying this guy was nefarious and that he's going to become an investor bro and hold it all back, and it's really a major distributor just holding back so they can make way more money later down the road? I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is you, John, doesn't matter what any of that, if any of that's true or not, you, for your own image, for your own reputation, should not take these statements so lightly and just post them on your website. You need to thoroughly vet this kind of shit. Because Black Bolt and White Flare, Pokemon Company is a hell of a lot smarter than apparently even John thinks. because the worst thing the Pokemon Company can do right now is short print Black Bolt and White Flare. The number one thing they could do is print this set more than they ever printed anything, plus buy a whole bunch of new presses and reprint all the crap they got to get caught up on. And that is what I actually think the Pokemon Company is in the middle of doing. And guess what? I even found out on accident that they just bought a whole bunch of new presses just for European, distribution. I didn't even know that. Like that, good on you, Pokemon. Thank you for trying. And you guys, the Pokemon Company is smart. Black Bolt and White Flare ain't getting short printed. It is getting printed to oblivion. Does that mean that you're going to get it at MSRP? Absolutely not. No matter what, if you want to get Black Bolt and White Flare in the next 6 months, you have to do one of two things. You have to catch a local restock, so you have to either get lucky or know people who know these things, or you have to have a bot service and you have to hop in line and get some stuff via a bot service notification. That has nothing to do with Black Bolt and White Flare and whether it's being short printed or not. Short printing is a massive decision that a company makes when they have to. The Pokemon Company does not have to short print Scarlet and Violet, Black Bolt, and White Flare. Instead, they need to print as much of it as possible and make as many millions of dollars off of it as possible, and all the while print Surging Sparks, Paldea, this, Twilight, that, Paldean Fates. And that is exactly what they are doing. Okay? Moral of the story, don't always believe everything you read on the internet, and not everybody is always going to be right 100% of the time. I will put on my reputation that Black Bolt and White Flare is absolutely not getting short printed. That's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.
He's got no hair, but don't you dare. The wisdom shines, he's everywhere.